Usually it's your man God of Dots, but for tonight's episode of the Audible, I am Jalen of Dots. No need to explain. No need to explain. Hope everybody's having a good week thus far. Good start to the week. Hope everybody is feeling well. Hope you have a good rest of your week. Let's get some housekeeping stuff out of the way. Well, tonight, how you doing, Dr. Nikki, Miss Burr? Yeah. Let me get some housekeeping stuff out of the way before we get started. I will be back Thursday with the usual Week 10 preview. Back to our normal starting time tonight. I started a little bit. Hey, brother needed a nap. Brother needed a nap a little bit. Like I said, we'll be back Thursday. Tomorrow, I will be in the other space. I will be doing a Wednesday wind down show over there. It will be mainly a political show. I've invited the Good Brotherhood Conservative to kind of fall through and give his thoughts and opinions on some stuff. Those who are not aware, who I don't know what's going on in your local area, but it was a voting day, so we're gonna talk about it tomorrow over in the other space. Then Friday, I don't know about a freestyle Friday. I'm thinking of doing that, but we'll see. We'll see. And of course, I've got I've got enough material already to go with something. But anyway, yes. So for tonight, I know it's on your screen if you've been watching the show. I am Jalen of Dots tonight. We will start off with probably the best game of the week. Now, I'm not even going to say probably. What's the best game of the week? Congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles for picking up. How do I say it? Shout out to the Eagles for picking up the dub. So congratulations to them. Now I could get up here and complain and cry and whine about the results of the game. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Congratulations to the Eagles for playing a good game. It's hard. I'm sorry, y'all. Every time I think of that game, I'm sorry. It just that's all I'm having flashbacks from Sunday. Every time I think about some of those calls, some of those non-calls, like where's the whistle, ref? But I'm not going to blame it on the referees. Philadelphia played a good game. Dallas just didn't execute down the stretch. And we're going to see what Philadelphia's made of. This is, if you saw last week's show, this is part of a tough 4-game stretch for them, playing some real heavyweight contenders for the next for at least the next 3 straight weeks until they play us again. We will be in Dallas for that one. Hopefully, we can get some of the breaks to go our way. Philadelphia can be had, but they showed that hey, they're a force to be reckoned with in the NFC right now. You have to put them as the best team in the NFC. It's an argument you can make for the Eagles being the best team in the NFL right now based on how they're playing. If you're going off records, yes, but if I'm basing off how well the team is playing right now, I would have to include Kansas City Chiefs and the Baltimore Ravens, who we'll talk about a little bit later in the show. I have to include them in that discussion. You have to include them in that discussion. Philadelphia did what they were supposed to do. How you doing, though, Eyes? Yeah, I'm just it was a good game though. It was a good game. I'm encouraged. I came away from that game. I was pissed off for about 30 minutes after the game for some of those calls, but hey, I was encouraged by how well the team played, especially on the offensive side of the ball. It is some things we have to clean up. As much as I critique the Philadelphia Eagles for some of the stuff they've had to clean up thus far this season, they've been successful, have the best record in the NFL. Dallas Cowboys, we got some things we got to clean up, man. Tony Pollard, I'm just going to go out and say it for all Cowboys fans. And I know this may not be a popular opinion, but Tony Pollard, this is probably his last year as a Dallas Cowboy at the price that they're paying him this season. Um, a good running back, just doesn't seem to have the burst this year. I don't know if he's still, he came back from injury too early. It just doesn't seem the same. We miss having that power back. I was hoping this team will go out and address it. So, but they didn't. It was some trades we could have possibly made, but I'm not gonna cry over spilled milk. We didn't make the moves. Hey, it is what it is. But Tony Pollard, this run game has not been what I thought it was going to be coming to the season. I thought Tony Pollard would play a lot better than he has, but he is just not. Yeah, although I said it. I said it on the airways. This is Tony Pollard's last season at the price. I will say this, at the price that they're paying him. At the price they're paying, he's getting paid right now at the franchise price. He's just not worth what you're paying for. And we've seen the NFL transition away from the one back system, the bell cow running back. Few teams have those now, and I think you're going to see a running back by committee. Hopefully, going forward for the rest of the season for the Cowboys. I like what I see out of Rico Dowdle. I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right, but you guys know who I'm talking about. If you're fans, I like what I see when he's on the field. And I've liked when I've seen the limited spots from Deuce Vaughn. I think you have to kind of go with a running back by committee approach. Tony Pollard does not have the burst right now. And I will credit this to the Philadelphia Eagles. They didn't have a lot of success if you're looking at running as far as the yardage was concerned during that game. But I like how they kind of kept it balanced and stayed committed to the run. Swift didn't have a great game as far as the yards. I'm sorry, though. I'm sorry. This is this kind of what we do around here when the Eagles pick up the dub. Trust me. When it's our turn, trust me, it will be a different graphic on the screen. But I have to kind of give them the praise. But trust me, when we see them later on in the season, you'll see a different graphic. You'll see a whole different vibe from the channel. But hey, I got to give them credit. Yeah, you're going to see a lot of that when we play them next. Best believe. Like I said, some things we have to work on as Cowboys. As an honest fan, we got some things we got to work on. But a good game by the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm not going to take anything away from them. They deserve to win. They played well enough to win. Now, I can sit here and gripe for the rest of the show about some of the calls that I was seeing. Some of the whistles that was blown and not blown. But hey, that'd be kind of nitpicking. At this point, the game is over, so it's nothing you can do about it. But I'm encouraged. I'm not going to come on here and play Debbie Downer and get all into the Cowboys. I like what we did. Just couldn't pull it off. Had an opportunity to win at the end of the game. Left some plays out there, and hopefully next time we play them, we'll clean that up. We will clean that up. Like I said, I was encouraged. And we're going to see what the Philadelphia Eagles are about for the next couple of weeks as we move forward with their schedule. Let me see who they got coming up next. Here they finally get their bye, so they get a break, chance to get healthy. Jalen Hurts has a chance to get healthy. And look, Miss Doe, I know you don't like the graphic, but I'm a fan of Jalen Hurts just because Roll Tide, but just because some of the work he does in the community, some of the stuff that you don't really see on the talk shows. But I like Jalen Hurts. I've liked Jalen Hurts since he was in college. This doesn't, I don't like the fact that he plays for the hated Eagles, but I like him. But moving forward, like you said, they got to buy this week. I think the next game is at the Chiefs. So you got a Super Bowl rematch. Could be a battle for the best record in the NFL at that point, depending on how the Chiefs kind of play it out. It's a chance. Next time we see them, it could be for the division. I mean, they have a very tough stretch. We have some very winnable games as Cowboys fans coming up. We have this Sunday, we got the Giants coming in, but we'll talk about that more on Thursday show. Let's get back into the recap. Like I said, the big game of the week, Cowboys, Eagles. Eagles pick up the dub. Jeez, I hate saying that. But yeah, you got to give them credit. Speaking of giving the team credit, I'm very impressed by the defensive performance that the Chiefs are putting on, not just this past Sunday when beating the Miami Dolphins, holding them to 14 points, and in the style in which they did it. I'm very impressed by the way the Chiefs defense has played the majority of the season. That I think that has been the most surprising thing about their march to the top of the AFC this season is the way the defense has played. The offense has been bright in some spots, but has been very kind of middle of the road when you really take a hard look at the numbers and take a hard look at the stats, the defense is outperforming the offense. And for the rest of the NFL, that's got to be a scary thing. That has got to be a scary thing to think that eventually the Chiefs offense will wake up. I mean, wake up and wake up in a big enough fashion. Drop Nick after you go around. You know what? I'll just leave it in the chat, Miss Murph. I'll just leave it in the chat, and because some of these games weren't worth going over. And trust me, I won't spend too much time on some of these games, but I'm very impressed by the way the Kansas City Chiefs defense played. They was able to hold and contain a very explosive Miami team to 14 points. Very good coverage and schemes they was running to kind of limit the damage that Tyreek Hill can have on a defense. So congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs, who are tied right now with the best record in the AFC. Along with the Baltimore Ravens, who is absolutely, I've been saying it for the past couple of weeks. Baltimore is, you can make an argument. You can make an argument based on the way that Baltimore has been playing and how explosive this team is getting week after week after week on the offensive side of the ball. Absolutely smashed Seattle 37-3. And trust me, if you watch the game, it wasn't even that damn close. It wasn't even that damn close. I mean, so shout out to them for picking up a very huge win against a very good team. Seattle, one of the better teams right now playing in the NFC, and they went out there and smashed and dominated them on both sides of the ball. And is as scary as the Kansas City Chiefs offense coming alive, it's scary to think that Baltimore's offense, as well as they have played this season, and right now Lamar is got to be my leading candidate for MVP. They're getting better and better and better each week. That passing game is coming along. The run game is always going to be dominant for them. The defense is getting after it, getting after quarterbacks. That pressure style defense we're accustomed to seeing from Baltimore has been on point this season, but the offense is getting better and better, and that is a scary, scary, scary thing. When you look at for the rest of the season, if I had to put my money on it, if you put a gun to my head right now and ask me who's the best team in the NFL, I wouldn't pick the Eagles. I wouldn't pick the Chiefs. I'd have to pick Baltimore. And I don't think enough people are talking about the way Baltimore is playing this season. Offense has been cooking. The defense has been lights out. And like I said, I'm liking what I'm seeing from the offensive side of the ball. They're getting better and better and better. Oh, shout out to OBJ for getting his first touchdown in a very long time this past Sunday. How do you stop? And I think that's the question a lot of teams in the AFC and anybody else remaining on the schedule. How do you slow down and how do you stop this Baltimore's Raven team? Because this is not a team that's not afraid to say, we'll grind it out. We'll run you left, run you right, run you up the middle. But they're the offensive weapons that they've acquired through the offseason, acquired through the draft. The guys are coming alive. They're becoming more a part of the offense. They're allowing Lamar Jackson to really spread his wings. And, he's already got one MVP under his belt. If you had to, put a gun in my head, I would say Baltimore is the best team right now playing. I know some people may disagree. Miss Murph may be saying, "Oh, it's the Eagles all day, Eagles all day," but I got the Ravens is right now. Is if I had to do a power rankings, they're the best team to me, based off the way they've been playing consistently the whole season, and it's just not a fluke. It's not a fluke what you're seeing. What they did at Seattle, I didn't think they was going to. I had them winning the game, but I didn't think they was going to dominate them. It was over in the first half. It was over in the first half. The way Baltimore's offense was moving up and down the field, they could have put up a 50 piece on them. Could have put up a 50 piece on them. Kind of took their foot off the gas in the second half offensively. But congratulations for Baltimore for making a statement. Making a statement. The hype was always around Cowboys and Eagles, but that's probably the most impressive performance from this past Sunday. Baltimore, that is a scary team. Speaking of a scary team, kind of getting it together. Shout out to the Cleveland Browns. I know you beat up a bad Cardinals team who was out there starting with a rookie quarterback. Deshaun Watson, I've been saying this since the preseason. Let him get some reps up under him. Hopefully, he'll return back to form. Probably his best game of the season. Went out there and beat, shut out the Cardinals. I'm not going to put too much stock into who they beat, but I watched the highlights of the game. I like the way that the defense has continued to dominate this season, and the offense showed. When they're able to put it together, when Deshaun Watson is able to put it together, they're a dangerous team to play against. And it wasn't a fluke that they beat it wasn't a fluke that they beat the 49ers in the fashion they did. Cleveland has a very good team. I talked about this during the preseason. When you look at the roster, it's a lot to like on both sides of the ball. It was all dependent on if Deshaun Watson was going to round back into form. Hopefully he can remain healthy for the season and continue on the path that he's started. I would say it started this past Sunday, and Cleveland's going to be a tough out. And when you really kind of expand the conversation past that, when you really look at the division, this is the division is. I mean, you can make a case. Baltimore's the best team in this division right now, but Cincinnati could be in that discussion. That was my preseason pick to win the division. They have a winning record. Pittsburgh has a winning record. Cleveland has a winning record. This is going to be a very tough division. You might see, based on how some of these teams are playing in the AFC, you might see 3 teams come from this division to make the playoffs. This division is that good, that deep. I thought as much going into the season. I said I had Cincinnati winning, and Cincinnati is starting to get it together, picking up a big win this past Sunday. Who did they? Because I want to make sure I got it right. Yeah, Bills, because I got the schedule and all kind of stuff up right now. Sorry, y'all. But Bengals picking up a big win Sunday night against Buffalo. Cincinnati's offense is coming alive. The defense is starting to round back into shape where they were, for the second half of last season, playing a lot better ball. Buffalo, I mean, the way Buffalo has been playing, and not just this past Sunday, but the way Buffalo has been playing this past season, you have to be hold on, because I let her come up here, and because you don't get this too often. You don't get this too often. Hold on, y'all. Nobody comes up without the pat down. Nobody comes up without the pat down. Welcome to the show.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Why did I have to sit backstage so long?
I got screens and stuff up. You know how I am when I got my shows. I got tabs and stuff up.
I'm
Go
glad you
ahead.
kept my seat available for me.
Go ahead. The floor is yours, ma'am. The floor is yours. Say what you have to say.
Oh, I don't have much to say. Of course, shout out to the Eagles for picking up the dub. Sometimes you win like the Eagles, sometimes you lose like the Cowboys, but always you learn.
How you gonna flip my catchphrase coming up, woman? How you gonna flip my catchphrase coming up here talking like that?
That's that's the only crap I'm going to talk.
Okay, give me your honest thoughts of the game. You guys thought you guys had some home cooking, some help from the refs. Come on now, give me that.
I can
Tell us.
neither confirm nor deny. The only thing I know is we won, and that's all that matters.
Yes, you did. You did. I don't think I'm gonna tell you next time we play y'all. I'm gonna say this. It may be
Hmm.
for the division because I don't think y'all coming out these next 3 games unscathed.
Oh, we got
I,
a
I
rough road ahead of us.
yeah, I don't think you guys are coming out unscathed.
No,
You almost gave the game away on Sunday, and
we
without some
did.
of them calls, we outplayed y'all for stretches of that game. But
And the
we
Eagles did try very hard to lose that game. Thankfully, they pulled out the win.
now are you concerned about Jalen Hurts' knee? You think he's going to be okay? You think the week off will do him well?
I
Because he
think he'll
hasn't
be
looked right
good
this
when we
season.
come back. I think he'll be
He ha-
good when we come back.
he ain't looked right this season. It is some seems off. He ain't looked right this season. He got outplayed Sunday. He got outplayed Sunday.
Yeah, yeah. But as we say, we still got the win.
Yes, you did. Like I said,
Even with him looking bad, we still win.
ma'am, hold on for a second. I got a Cowboy fan that may want to say something to you. I put Jalen Hurts back up on the screen. I put Jalen Hurts back up on the screen. Hold on for a second.
How y'all gonna try to double team the winner?
You asked for it. How you asked for it. Welcome to the show. You on mute.
Good e- good evening.
No
Good
eyes. You okay?
evening. Hi, Miss Murph. How are you?
I'm fine, though. How are
Hi, Miss
you?
Murph. Hi, Dr. Nikki. I'm a little bit salty, but I'm okay. Thank you, God of Dots, for letting me up. I just wanted to say one thing because I'm at work and I hope I won't get in trouble. But congratulations to the Eagles. But you do know that the
Hmm.
horrible Commanders, even though they did win, almost beat Philly too. So the Commanders and Dallas almost beat you all. So enjoy your
Almost
winning for
doesn't
now because I think your
count.
little wins. I know. Wait, but you might get clipped soon. And that's all I have to say. Bye bye, everyone.
Okay. Thank you for coming up, dog.
Oh, the
I,
hate is real.
ma'am, you knew it was coming. You knew it was because especially how that game played out. You knew I couldn't in my heart. I couldn't in my heart come up here and be like blame it all on the refs with some of them calls. I'm like, and it's not just that game.
Hmm.
NFL officiating has been real, and I might,
That's
talk
true.
about it. It has been very kind of suspect this season,
That is very true. I
and
agree with that.
what I've seen is, have you noticed they're starting to find players for just like regular football
Hmm.
plays now? Like it's almost kind of hard. Some of these games have been kind of hard to watch with some of how they're calling these games. Like let them play. Let it be, clear cut penalties and just let these guys play. I'm not. Give it about 10 years, we might be talking about playing flag football.
Hmm. Why do you think that is?
I get, concussions and player safety, but this is a sport that is physical in nature, and it's
Hmm.
always been physical in nature from the time you start playing pee wee football. It has always been about the physicality of the game, and I get you want to protect players, but you can't get away from the essence of the game. What's going on, Triggs? You can't get away from the essence of the game. You
I
cannot get
agree.
away. And I think when you are having games decided by referees, when the officiating is playing such a major role with some of the calls, non-calls, we threw a flag, we picked it up, we changed our mind. Like you're kind of taking that away, but then the NFL is kind of like backing them with some of these fines I'm seeing, especially on the running back position. Like, why running back is taught at a young age when you hit the hole, you and bodies are around you lower your head and mush forward. But
Hmm.
I'm not getting it. Yeah, it's robbery to me. Watching
I
it, but
don't get it either. But thankfully, the Eagles are benefiting
he
from some of those calls.
we couldn't beat the four on the field. We couldn't beat the guys in the stripes. We just could not. Some of them, I'm like, some of them calls are disagree. Like I had to get off Twitter. Sunday, I watched the game. I was upset. I was salty because we lost, and of course, it's always losing to the Eagles. But
Hmm.
Twitter has a way of stoking the fire. I had to get off Twitter Sunday. I was like, I can't do this because they kept showing. What about this play? What about this mishold? I was like, you know what? I gotta get off because it's gonna make me pissed off. The more I watch this, and I'm not gonna be right on Tuesday. I'm gonna come in here with a whole different kind of attitude and vibe. Like, yeah, Miss Murphy, yeah, you blocked. Yeah, you. Uh,
You can't block me. I'm your day one on this channel.
I know, but you know how I am about Philly. Philly, I can lose to the Giants, and I'd be like, you know what? Hey, it's a bad game by us. I can lose to the Washington Commanders, and be like, we just didn't have it. Something about you Eagles, because it's. I know you, some of you Eagles fans, and in the spaces I'm in, it do something to me. It do something to me. And I'm reminded on occasion. Shout out to the Eagles for the dub. I'm always reminded of that. I'm like, oh.
And Eagles fans feel the same way about the Cowboys.
Oh, okay. I have a
It runs
know
deep.
I know it do. I know it do. Hold on. I got somebody else backstage that want to say
Here
they
she
piece.
is.
Hey, lady.
Hey, Dr. Nikki.
Listen, first of all, I don't care how many games y'all win. These Eagles ain't shit. But I will not hate because of my love for you, Miss Murph.
Well,
So
thank you, Dr.
I,
Nikki.
I think, listen, I see you up there in your little raggedy green M and whatnot, but nothing but love. It was a good game. As Dots was saying, we can't play the refs too.
That game hurt. It hurt watching some of them calls. I'm like, Oh,
But if you put more points on the board, the
see,
refs don't matter.
see, there you go. Well, it don't help when they take points away from you. Come on now. You talking about putting points? So they took a touchdown from us. Come on.
It wasn't a touchdown.
Oh, you're right, because it was pass interference before he caught the ball. We're not doing this. What's going on, Jerm? Jerm said Chiefs best in the league. I got him third best right now, Jerm. I got Baltimore 1, Eagles 2, Chiefs 3.
However, the Eagles have the best record in the league right now.
For now. Well, for now, you guys get a chance to once again go out there and prove you have the best record in the league.
And at least for the next week as well, since we have a bye.
You know what? Ma'am? Now, I ain't blocked nobody over here, but don't you gonna make it a no-fly zone for you Eagles fans?
I'm gonna mute.
You gonna make, but hey, congratulations to you guys. You guys have overcome some challenges this season. You guys are slowly getting it together, but I see dark days and rough times ahead. We all go through them.
It's definitely going to be a challenge.
Yeah, it will be a challenge. If you guys come out of this stretch with the one loss on your record, I mean it's no more doubt who's the best team right now in the NFL. Right now, I think it's an argument. You guys have the best record, but based on play on the field, I got Baltimore as the best looking team right now because I'm liking Lamar is my MVP right now. And I don't think it's even close. Oh, I guess she's back. I guess she's back. She's got something else to say to you.
I'm sorry about that, y'all. I walked in the building and the internet clipped me. The Wi-Fi. So listen, first of all, you Eagles fans ain't shit. Just in case y'all didn't hear that the first time I said it. And Miss Murphy up there with her little ugly green. But it's all good. But the only reason why I am not feeling my feelings is because of Miss Murph. So Miss Murph, you have made an impact on my life.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Nikki.
So what God couldn't do, you did.
Maybe you'll become an Eagles fan one day.
Oh, no. That'll never happen. Now, I will root for some people on the team, but I will never be a fan. I'm a fan of the NFL.
No, she didn't. No,
but yeah, so that. As Dots was saying, we had to play the refs too. Those refs need to be fired. They are sorry as shit. And that is across all of the games. All of them sorry as hell. And
that's true.
What else do I had to say, Dots? How about the Cowboys any damn way? How about that?
It's always still about them boys now. It's always still about them
Oh,
boys.
for sure. Now, my husband, as I said, is a Giants fan, and he's been really quiet this season. And we see that a brother of a certain age, comes over here, sporadically. So if we waiting on a brother of a certain age to, hit the panel when his team win, we can just go ahead and look to next season.
Yeah, I don't see him here this week, maybe because how they looked on Sunday.
Oh
But
my God, you talking about somebody
Trash.
stinking it up. But listen, this is Mrs. Murph's day. I just want to let her know that I am a good sport.
Yes, you are.
And all of that. I was salty, but as you saw, I dropped my little water cups and the, whatever. So I'm not thirsty right now. But tomorrow I just might be. Okay. I like to revisit my feelings. So y'all
Thank
have
you,
a
Dr.
wonderful
Nikki.
evening. Dots, thanks. You already know what it is. Miss Murphy, you know what it is too. So I'll holler back, but fuck them Eagles.
appreciate you coming up. Appreciate you coming up. All right, Miss Murph. So I know you're not only an Eagles fan, you're an NFL fan. What other team has been impressing you this season?
Baltimore,
Mm-hmm.
Detroit. I'm starting to believe in Cincinnati. I wasn't seeing what you were seeing in Cincinnati before. I'm starting to see it.
But they have a good team. It was a rough start to the season for them. It was a rough start, but they're kind of getting back into that mode they were in for long stretches of the second half of last season when they kind of turned it on, and the offense is clicking. Joe Burrow looks
Mhm.
healthy now, and Cincinnati was my preseason pick to win a division.
Mhm.
Unless Baltimore kind of stumbles, I don't kind of see that happening right now. But Cincinnati is going to be a tough out come playoff time, and the Lions. Who has been talking about the Lions as being a good team this year? Me.
It
I
was
I,
you.
I want that on the record. I said it was a good team last year. They came up short, but this team they've been kind of handling business, and I'm liking I'm liking the potential matchups come playoff time because I could see Detroit giving Philadelphia a run for their money. San Francisco, of course, the boys. It's going to be interesting. I think what we're going to see coming down the stretch, how much playoff seeding position in home field is going to be real key. I think whoever gets home field clearly has the advantage going into the play because Philadelphia is a hard place to play, especially when you consider it's going to be getting cold there. The weather kind of changes, and the referees, of course, but it's going to be interesting to see teams try to go up into Philly if they hold on to the number one seed as current. It's going to be tough to see a team going up there. I think San Francisco is kind of come back to the pack. Brock Purdy is what Brock Purdy is. He's a guy. He's a good system guy. But he's not a put the team on my back kind of quarterback. And we'll see what they look like for the rest of the season coming off their bye. I was encouraged by Dak's performance. Tony Pollard, Cowboys fans get ready. It's his last season as at the price that they're paying him. You know, at the price they're paying him. But it's all about your. Are you satisfied with your Eagles defense? Let's talk about that.
Not really. Not really. And I predict that the Eagles will lose two more games by the end of the season.
As long as one of them is to the Cowboys, I'm happy with
I
that.
think they're going I think they will lose the second game against Dallas.
We should have lost the
And
first one, but we
nah, nah.
you can't beat the refs, man. We can't beat. Jesus, I'm back into that mode I was on Sunday. I was back. I've been cool, calm, and collected. I said, you know what? I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. But you guys had some of them pass interference calls or non-calls, the non-holding. I could sit here and do a whole show on the officiating, and that's a sad part. Like Dr. Nikki said, they've been ruining a lot of games this year with some of
Mhm.
these calls. Like this, just let these guys play. If it's egregious, I mean, let's be honest, it's holding on every play in the
Mhm.
NFL on both sides. It's holding. I mean, you gotta let them be physical. You gotta let them play. Um, I'm just not satisfied with it. I damn sure wasn't satisfied with the officiating during that game. You could have you could have kept
I'm
that.
very satisfied.
I know you are. You know, they put up more points. They took points. They took points. I mean, I know people are like, yeah, what you know, for rest of the games, it's nothing. Rest of the week was kind of ho hum. Nothing really major to talk about. If I skipped over your team, trust me, it wasn't that important. It wasn't that important. I covered the major games, but tonight it's about Miss Murph, and you know, it's always
Putting
a
me on the
pleasure.
spot.
Yeah, ma'am.
Sorry, folks.
No, you fine because it's a very rare occasion when you know people get to hear your voice. I can say I have the exclusive rights to Miss Murph.
You
And
do. You do. And if the Cowboys win the next game, I'll be back.
now you know if we win the next game, you know the show is going to be completely different. It's going to be all kind of graphics up on the screen. It's going to be a trailer video coming for that. It is going to be everything.
I'm sure.
I'm gonna treat it like a Friday show. We're gonna sit
Oh,
here,
no.
we're gonna sit here and do a play by play. Like, look here on this play, look on this touchdown, look at break it down. Yeah, I'm like,
I
you know,
expect it.
yeah, I
I
know you
expect
do.
it.
I know you do. But
Hmm.
you're a good sport about it
I
because
am.
I had some Philly fans hit me up. I almost sent them to the block party. I was like, come on, come on. I knew people was gonna be on my head about. I had to get off Twitter. I had to get off Twitter. I was like, some of these
You
things.
know, Eagles fans are hated by most teams.
It's I understand it now. The hate.
Hmm.
I understand the hate
Hmm.
because like
We have no chill.
you guys don't. You guys don't like now the narrative is being spun that Marquise Bell, linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys, tried to break Dallas guard. I'm like, come on, man. Like, you know, you guys are reaching. I mean, you won the game. I mean, damn. I mean, come on. Now we out here on some bounty gate type. Like that's what I was seeing. I said, let me get off Twitter.
Yep.
Let me get
Yep.
off.
We
So
can be
yeah,
brutal. I'm being very nice.
brutal ain't the word. Brutal ain't the word. Well, since you're a Philly fan all the way around,
Hmm.
how do you like how your 76ers have looked this season?
They're looking great. They're looking great. I'm very impressed. Harden, who?
I think that was a good move. Now you could have
Yes.
got some more pieces.
Hmm.
I might have traded him to a different team, got some more pieces, but I
So
like
far, so good.
yeah, so yeah, I like Maxi at the point. He's doing a good enough job, and Embiid he's in mid-season form.
Hmm.
He is in mid-season form. Um,
Hopefully, he can stay healthy most of the season.
that is always the question with Philly.
Yeah.
That is always the question with Philly is health.
Hmm.
It's health, but they have looked good to start the season. I can't say the same from my Lakers. You know, we've lost some tough games. We have a losing record, but you know, it's early.
Hmm.
It's still early in the
I
season.
wasn't going to say nothing.
Don't worry, Gator Girl beat you to it. Gator Girl always beat you to it. Yeah, it's a long season.
Yeah. And
It is a
it's just
long.
starting.
Yeah, it's just I can't put too much stock. That's why I'm not really covering it like that. But you know, come All Star break when the NFL season is over, yeah, you know the coverage
Hmm.
ramps up over here. But yeah, congratulations to the Eagles once again.
Yes.
I think I've said that more times than I wanted to tonight. I was
I
hoping you
appreciate it.
I was hoping you kind of drop in and kind of like some other stuff was going on somewhere else. You'd be kind of over there hanging out, then like I wouldn't have to be saying it like this.
Nope.
But I knew you weren't gonna miss this
Not
show.
at all.
Now, if we would have won, you just came in, you know, on some, you know, Teresa, hey, how y'all doing? He got hello.
Nope. I would have kept my word and come up.
But I appreciate you coming up, Miss Murphy. It's always a pleasure.
Yes, it is. You
You
ready for me to drop down?
no. I mean, well, if you want to drop down, because you know me, I don't try to do the long shows over here. I don't like doing long shows at all. Like it's draining.
Okay. I'll just leave you with this. Sometimes you win like the Eagles,
Here we go.
Sometimes you lose like the Cowboys, but always you learn. And I'm out.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're gonna flip my slogan back on me. You're gonna flip my slogan back on me. Let me kind of wrap up some of the more notable game. I'm not gonna do a full breakdown. CJ Stroud looked good in his game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Texans win. Right now, CJ Stroud is my offensive rookie of the year. The Texans are, in the hunt for possibly a wild card spot. Later on in the season, they continue. It's been one of the surprise teams thus far this season. Let's see, Chargers beat Jets. I'm not putting too much stock in that. Chargers are a kind of a hit or miss team. If they make the playoffs, they ain't going nowhere. Buffalo, you got to be concerned because right now you in a dogfight in that wild card race out in the AFC. You cannot take these games lightly. I think you got a nice stretch coming up where we're gonna see what the Buffalo Bills are really made of. Josh Allen, I don't hear too many people talking about him being in that conversation for MVP like I heard at the beginning of the season, and rightfully so. He has played below standard, below expectations thus far this season. Now I want to give a special shout out to Josh Dobbs, the new starter quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings, who came in midweek with a trade. The presumed starter got hurt. He comes in and wins a very big game. And I'm going to say big game for the Minnesota Vikings against the Atlanta Falcons this past Sunday, keeping them in the hunt for a potential wild card spot later on in the season. I like Josh Dobbs. Will I build a franchise around him? No. But as far as a short-term starter, pinch hitter type quarterback, he's one of the best that you have in the league. And he played very well on Sunday and beating a very game Falcons team. Falcons offense look a whole lot better with Tyler Heineke at the quarterback position. I think it's been reported. I'm not sure. I got to double check, but Heineke will be the starter for the remainder of the season. So Atlanta, once again, one of those teams in the NFC is going to be in the hunt for a wild card spot. Atlanta's still in the conversation. Right now, I think they're still leading the division. Or if they're not leading, I think they're tied with the Saints. This is very jumbled up in some of these divisions. Let me take a quick peek because I just want to make sure I'm reporting accurate information. What is the records out there in the NFC South? Let me take a peek. All right, the NFC. So right now, Saints are 5-4, Falcons are 4-5. So this is a game behind the Saints right now in that division. It's like I said, very jumbled race over there in the NFC South. So Falcons, get back on track. Heineke, your quarterback. I think you have a chance moving forward to push for a playoff spot. Before I kind of wrap up, any other notable games we may be seeing? It's been reported. I'm gonna end the show with this. It's been reported by the Boston Globe that sources from the New England Patriots are saying that Bill Belichick, if the season continues at the rate it is going, as far as like the losing record and the way that they're losing in New England, Bill Belichick may or may not make it to the end of the season. I think Robert Kraft, I've been saying this all season, needs to have a conversation with Bill. It's time for a new voice in the locker room. He's done enough. Your legacy is solidified. You don't have a Super Bowl caliber team. You don't even have a playoff caliber team up there in New England. I expect, if I'm Robert Kraft, the owner, I expect a full go ahead, kind of force Bill to leave gracefully. You don't want to fire him in the middle of the season. He's done too much for that franchise, but allow him to finish out the season gracefully, go into the sunset, the retirement, and start wholesale. Mac Jones, I don't think is the quarterback of the future of this franchise. I wasn't very high on Mac Jones, and Roll Tide. I wasn't very high on Mac Jones as some of the draft pundits were coming out of college. He's just not a game changer to me, especially not in the system that he's in New England. So you may see a completely different look of the Patriots come next season. But like I said, it's been reported by the Boston Globe that sources are leaking out that the team may be moving on from Bill Belichick sooner than later. From Robert Kraft, with all that Bill has done for this franchise, allow him to leave gracefully, allow him to, finish out the season, and have that hard conversation. You can go ahead and quote unquote retire, or I don't want to be reported that we fired you. I'd rather you save your dignity and leave on your own accord in that fashion. I hate to have to fire him, but you're looking at the end of the Patriots dynasty, and it's been the end. Let's keep it a buck. Since Tom Brady left and became a Buck, it has been the end of that dynasty, and it's something to be proud of. Probably the longest reigning dynasty I've seen in the NFL in all my days of watching and enjoying the NFL. Patriots, to be able to be in contention, to be in the playoff hunt, to be in the amount of Super Bowls they've been in during this amazing stretch. I don't know if it's going to be ever duplicated. It may be being duplicated out there in Kansas City, but they're still a long way off from really being in that conversation. When we're talking about dynasties, I think the Patriots was just a unique point in time in the NFL that I'd be hard pressed to find it happen again. Like I said, the best chance of that happening in my lifetime right now is what the Kansas City Chiefs got going on with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. Speak was good. Appreciate you coming in, Greg. We'll bring your happy Philly ass over here. I knew Speak was going to show up. I knew Speak was going to show up eventually. These Eagles fans, man, they come out of the woodwork like roach. You know what? Let me get my behind up out of here, man. I can't. My spirit. I'm just still thinking about the no calls, the blown calls, the fake flag. You know what? Let me get my behind up out of here. We'll be back over in the other space tomorrow for the political show on Wednesday. Then we'll be back over here on Thursday, back to our normally scheduled time for the Week 10 preview. May do a Freestyle Friday show over here. We'll see. I'm kind of working on some material for that. And of course, I do the show over there in the other space on Friday. And I think me and the good brother Slander are getting together some point this weekend to kind of do, our new show over there. So appreciate y'all for coming in. And remember, always like, share, subscribe. It's always appreciated. Y'all listen to little old me. And let me get my behind up out of here. I do not do these long shows during the week. As always, y'all know the phrase that pays over here. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but every time you learn. And I'm out.